Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to Courtside Podcast, episode 24. Today I'm joined by my special guest, Leroy. What is going on, Leroy?
What's going on with you, man? It's been a little minute. I know
It's been a minute.
Kind of busy.
Yeah.
Hiatus.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's been a crazy playoff so far, so we have to get into that. We're a little late to the first round, but we're definitely going to give you guys our recap on the first round, and then we're going to dive into the second round of the playoffs as well, and because that's what's currently happening. So, yeah, we're a little behind. Haven't recorded in a while, but we're back in the groove, and as always, I appreciate you guys for supporting and listening, and please just continue to support. So Leroy, so what do you think was the most upsetting defeat in the first round of the playoffs?
Most upsetting defeat. That's why Boston sleeping up, just sweeping them brooms out, just getting them brooms out on the Nets, man. Boys couldn't even win a game. Like KD and Kyrie couldn't win a game. That's the most amazing thing to me. How can KD and Kyrie win you a game?
Yeah, I mean, I was pretty surprised that they couldn't win one game. I mean, you would think with the tandem of Kyrie and Kevin Durant, you would be able to at least pull off one game. But yeah, I know Ben Simmons was expected to come back for Game 4, and he just kind of decided to sit out. So I don't know if that would have made a difference or not, but I think, the Nets not winning a game against Boston. I mean, Boston is a contending team, but they should have put up more of a fight, in my opinion.
For the longest term, Ben Simmons don't even play basketball anymore.
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
I think he's just going to the clubs,
That's probably how you tweet that back.
Yeah, probably that too. But so yeah, and then another series I was a little surprised by was Utah losing to Dallas. I thought Utah would move on to the next round. Honestly, even like in a bracket challenge, I picked Utah over Dallas, so that's why I'm also surprised by that. Yeah, I thought with Donovan Mitchell and then Gobert as a defensive presence and everything like that, I thought Dallas would have a tougher time against them, but they were able to just kind of run away with it.
It's hard for Rudy to be a defensive presence when those guys ain't really attacking the rim like that, and they're spreading them out. Dallas had some stretch bigs that they were able to put out there and pull Rudy away from the rim, and that kind of negated his defensive presence. He doesn't really have much of an offensive game. So when that's happening, you losing on both ends. And you see them try to do that with DeAndre Ayton in the series against the Suns, but Ayton has way more of an offensive game than Rudy. So if you're not knocking down your shots every time, Ayton's gonna get a bucket in the paint. He's gonna shoot a mid range. He's gonna get those points on your bigs who are not really defenders. So that series, it pretty much came down to that. It pretty much came down to Rudy's inability to stay on the perimeter and guard. Because every time he'll be close to his match, when they drive, he'll get sucked in by trying to protect, by his in nature, which is to protect the rim.
Yeah, if he switched onto a guard, it's game over. He can't defend that. Jalen Brunson's and those smaller guards. But yeah, someone like DeAndre Ayton, like you said, he's able to kind of provide more spacing around the floor and can provide just more with his offense. Defensively, I think they're about the same. I think
Ayton can move them puppies. Ayton can move them puppies out there. I don't know if you watched the first game. He moved them puppies against Luka. He was guarding Luka a little bit. He ain't gonna shut Luka down on those switches, but he's there to make it a little tough for him.
So you think Aiden has better mobility than Gobert.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I
definitely.
agree. Yeah, for sure. So did
He doesn't
you?
have the defensive instincts as far as protecting the rim as Rudy, but he can move. But he definitely has that mobility.
Yeah. So were you like surprised by that series, or were there any other series in the first round that kind of
It
took
was
you
a
by
little,
surprise?
it was a little surprising because I kind of thought it was gonna go 7 for one. I honestly didn't think Utah was gonna lose that game 6. I thought like if Utah was gonna lose, it's gonna go 7, and they would go lose on the road or something.
Well,
But
Bogey missed the three at the end. They could have had the 1 point win, game
Yeah.
6, but
yeah.
sometimes you just can't hit the game winner. Yeah.
I wasn't too surprised, but I think most people were surprised for the first round how much of a fight the Pelicans gave the Suns. So
Oh yeah, I saw that series.
I think a lot of people was probably surprised at the fight the Pelicans had in them. So
Alvarado, man, that kid's a pit bull.
yeah, man, he was getting all in Chris Paul's face, man. I'm pretty sure he got on Chris Durst a couple times.
Oh yeah, he was basically playing like Chris Paul out there, flopping and throwing
That's the first thing you go to.
throwing his body at him and just doing everything he can to draw fouls.
Why is flopping the first thing you go? That's what I don't know.
I mean, that's definitely in his arsenal for Chris Paul. I mean,
It's a skill set now. It's a skill set.
Yeah, I think he's like, pretty good defender. Get steals and score a little bit, but that's definitely flopping is definitely part of his game.
I think that's a part of every defender skill set, especially if you're a good defender. You gotta know how to settle a little bit.
Yeah.
So
Well, I think with the way I think the league is trying to kind of wipe that away a little bit, right?
Yeah.
They're trying to kind of blow less calls for flopping, I guess.
So, man, did the Philly-Toronto series kind of surprise you a little bit?
Honestly, I was surprised that Toronto put up a fight. I thought Philly had Philly had them in like 5 games, so I didn't even know that Toronto was like slowly came back and put up a chance to get into 7 games. I had no clue, so yeah, I thought Philly was well deserving to win, but they definitely look sloppy at times, especially now Joel Embiid's not playing, right? When is he going to be back?
He's supposed to be back game 3, so he'll miss tomorrow's game in Miami, and then he's supposed to come back game 3.
I'm telling you right now, that's a must-win game for Philadelphia tomorrow. They're already down 1-0 against Miami, so if they lose to Miami they're not making
out of this round, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think Miami's going to advance, but I don't know. They need Embiid. But yeah, sometimes they just look a little disjointed, the Sixers.
Yeah, I mean, they need Embiid, but they need the others to show up too. And James Harden really hasn't been the same since the hamstring injury. So it's kind of wondering, like, is this the James Harden we're gonna see from now on, or like because I'm projecting that they will lose this series. Also, does he come back healthy and look like James Harden that we used to see? So.
He looked good against the game against Toronto. It was the last game, right? When he hit that step back 3 and drawing fouls and kind of playing like the aggressive old, Harden that we're kind of used to seeing. But then the next game he comes out and just kind of, doesn't really produce much. So it's kind of just, it's frustrating to to watch Harden play right now.
Yeah, and Miami, from what I've seen from out of game one, they did some good things, and there's times where they just looked, especially that second half, they kind of ran out of gas.
Yeah, I think they were up by like 20, so they kind of just, put their foot off the gas pedal. But,
that's when you used to having Joel to close it out. Ain't nobody else know how to close now.
All I know is that Miami has dogs. They got Adebayo who could snatch, at least 10 rebounds per night. And the Tyler Hero is like 6th man of the year, and
he just won it. 6th man.
I think he hit like
6th man of the year.
How many threes did he have the other night? It was like at least 5 threes. Might have been.
It was a good bid.
More than that, but.
Yeah, I'm gonna check the stat sheet, but it was a good bid. So yes. But he was shout out Tyler Hero, 6th man of the year, first Heat player to win that award. So that was a good thing for him. Good thing for Heat culture.
So yeah, I think Miami, they're just really scrappy and
he hit 4.
Okay,
he hit 4 threes. 4 threes. Yeah, 25 on the night.
I think Philly could be, a team that can make the finals, but they need to be healthy, and Harden needs to step up. If they have, that's their secret. That's their recipe for winning. Yeah. But they're not. I'm gonna
address it just as one of my friends brought it up to me. They was talking about like James Harden didn't come to Philly to be the star player. He didn't, but you came to help win a championship, and the key word is help. That means you have to do something, and you ain't getting paid the money you getting paid to just sit your ass back and wait and let Joel carry and just say, I'm going to be a facilitator. No, you don't get that luxury, especially in the playoffs and especially with Joel out. You do not have that luxury.
Yeah, I think just Harden's not stepping up. He steps up, like I mentioned previously, at times. It's like segmented. You don't get it on a consistent basis.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what the Sixers need if they want to advance to the next round, is Harden to play better. I think their role players need to step up as well. But yeah, that's another story for another time.
Yeah. My thing that was interesting is, so Harden will be a free agent at the end of this year. Now you traded a lot. They traded a lot to get Harden. I'm assuming you go re-sign him.
Yeah.
But the question will be, is he worth it? And how much money is he gonna get? Because I'm not giving him $100 million. I don't know if I'm gonna get this man $100 million again.
Is he a restricted free agent, or?
I believe he's gonna be unrestricted. I was just looking at it, but I believe he's gonna be unrestricted. Most of the stars be unrestricted free agents. I rarely hear with superstar being a restricted free agent. Yeah, he's unrestricted. He's gonna be an unrestricted free agent.
I think Philly's gonna pay him.
I think so because Daryl Morey believes in him a lot.
Yeah, they're gonna give him a super max, no question. They traded away like a lot of their depth and all that for him. So I don't think they're just gonna give him up.
So you want to give a man who to be 34 a supermax?
Unless Philly's able to find a trade suitor for Harden. If they can't, then I think they're just gonna be in desperation mode, and they're just gonna, maybe it won't be a supermax, but it might be, pretty like a 4-year maybe deal.
I'm okay with giving him $100 million with a 4-year deal. So that's $25 a year. That's kind of pretty much what you're paying Tobias to be a role player. So I guess.
Yeah. What else? So who's winning the Grizzlies? Are the Grizzlies and Warriors playing currently, or?
The game just ended. The Grizzlies end up winning that, tying the series up at 1.
Was it another 1-point game?
Yeah, it was a close game. They won by 5. They won by 5.
Okay.
It was a close game.
Yeah, the last game was really close.
Series, that series is gonna be interesting. I feel like the Warriors is gonna win based on their experience. And Memphis has the tendency to give up a lot of offensive rebounds to them. And you can't do that to a team that can shoot like how this team can shoot. And can score like this team can score.
Well, I think Steven Adams, he's been out. When is he returning?
He
hasn't. I don't think he's played one game in these playoffs.
I didn't think he got injured.
So I mean, I think that's hurting their, rebounding in their defense. Yeah, I haven't seen him play. I think they've been playing. What's that dude's name? David Clarke, that young big man.
Yeah,
they've been playing him a lot of minutes, and
he just got dunked on today too. So you'll see the highlights.
Who else are they playing? They're playing, I think, Jaren Jackson at center. I don't know. Actually, maybe not. But
he's in COVID. He was in COVID protocols for Game 1. I know that much. He was in COVID protocols for Game 1, and
I think he was injured during the first round, so that's why.
No, he remains out due to health and safety protocols.
Huh.
So,
and then
what's them COVID protocols?
And what's been going on with Ja Morant? I mean, this is his first good game in a while, right? He had I think 20 and 10 tonight, but
nah, he finished with 47.
Oh shit!
He finished with 47.
Because the last game I saw him, I put a bet on Ja Morant to score over 20 points, and I think he was struggling offensively that night. It was I think the last game against who were they playing?
Timberwolves.
Yeah, the Timberwolves.
Yeah, he was too up and down in that series. I don't understand what was going on with him because Golden State's not defending him much different. Well, for one, he's actually starting to hit them threes. They're giving him the open three, and he's starting to hit them. So that's
he was hitting them tonight. He was hitting them tonight.
He hit him in Game 1. He had 4 all series against the Timberwolves.
He'll have one game where he gets 5 threes, and then he'll go on a 3 or 4 game,
slump.
Yeah. Where he just can't hit anything from beyond the arc, but he's been a little inconsistent these playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
His assists have been good though. He's definitely passing the ball pretty well. But the scoring, like you said, 47 points tonight, but then
speaking of a 5-3 game in that 47, he hit 5-3, so got your 5-3 game. Gotcha.
Can he, continue this trend of scoring? Over. I don't know if he's gonna score 40 points, but can he score? Can he get you 25 and 10 on a consistent basis?
I think he can, but it's gonna take other guys to really step up and score. You're gonna need Desmond Bain to have more than 5 points if that's gonna happen.
You're gonna need Dylan Brooks to not get ejected.
Yeah, you're gonna need Dylan Brooks to not get ejected. You're gonna need Jared Jackson to score more than 12 points and not foul out like he does in almost every game in this playoffs. You just need Jared Jackson gotta learn how to play without fouling, man. He's too important to their success. You gotta learn how to play without fouling. That's just simply what it is.
Yeah. Good defender, but he doesn't have the defensive mindset or anything like that to really. I guess that's why Marcus Smart, I think, won defensive player over Jaren Jackson.
Yeah.
But
one thing I did notice from him, young boy stepped up. Zaire Williamson, young rookie, stepped up. He was actually second on the team in points with 14. So he hit 4 threes of his own. So that was a good step up for them.
Yeah, for sure. I want to thank Dylan Brooks, man. Thanks for getting ejected. Lost me $30 today, man. So, not a big deal, but Yeah.
You not let that one go though. You know.
It's a lot of money. No, I'm just kidding.
It's a lot for us, Dylan. It's a lot for us.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, so who do you got in that series? Grizzlies, Warriors.
I got Warriors. I believe that experience is gonna kick in about Game 5. I believe we're gonna see that experience kick in. And I mean, if it does come down to Game 7, I gotta roll with the Warriors on that one.
I got the Grizzlies.
I think this one kind of will come down to 7.
Yeah, I got the Grizzlies in 7. I think they're gonna Game 7. I believe is gonna be in Memphis.
Yeah, it will be in Memphis.
So I think that helps. If the Grizzlies are able to push this to 7 games. I think
the only way it gets to 7 if they get one of these games in San Fran. They lose both of these games in San Fran, it's over in 6.
Yeah, I mean it's tough to play Golden State at at their arena.
Mm-hmm.
I think they have like the loudest fans in the whole league, or it's like they're up there. So it's just hard to play there.
Yeah.
So
fans in the arena, and I mean, probably even the fans outside the arena. We know the Bay geographically ain't that big of a strip. There's a lot of people there.
All I know is that I think Memphis, they have shooters. They have John Moran's top premier point guard, top 5 point guard in the league, and I think they could take one of these games in San Fran. I think if they
definitely can.
If they stay focused and they play how they play within the the way that they usually play, they're a second seed for a reason, right? So yeah, we'll see what happens with that series. Definitely going to be. I think this is going to be a lot of close games. I don't think you're going to see any like 20-point blowouts or anything, kind of like what we saw today with Boston beating Milwaukee. That was a blowout.
Yeah, I mean, Boston hit their shots. They hit their threes, man. They got a lot of open looks in Game 1 that they didn't hit. Today they hit them. I mean,
and Jaylen Brown.
The Bucks was also a great 3-point shooting team of their own. They only hit 3 threes in that whole game.
Jaylen Brown was hitting threes, and I think he had like close to 30 tonight.
Yeah,
Boston's.
Well, Jaylen Brown had 30.
Yeah,
he had a 30 piece. He had 30. Tatum had 29.
So if they could play like that, if Tatum and Brown could get you 20 apiece, I don't see why they can't win. But then it's like, Jaylen Brown kind of has, inconsistencies, and even Jason Tatum, people pronounce him to be a superstar level player, which he is, but he has nights where he just doesn't, play up to par.
Well, here's the thing with the playoffs. Your stars, they have to show up. So yeah, Jalen and Jason showed up today. Both gave you Jalen gave you 30. Jason gave you 29. What was also the key is Grant Williams gave them 21 and was 6 and 9 3. Mm-hmm. So you gotta have a role player to step up each and every game. It could be somebody different, but they gotta step up and have an out of body experience. So it gotta be at least one each and every game for
Horford,
one of these teams.
I think Horford's pretty good for them.
Grabs
rebounds
and defense. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't even think Marcus Smart was playing today. I think he was out. So
yeah, he was out. He injured his knee. So
with him coming back, I think next game he'll be back. So that
he should be back. He should be back next game because I believe they get a little bit of a break because the series shifts over to Milwaukee. So I believe they get a little bit of. If I'm
that
right,
should give them
a little bit break.
That should give them a a boost right there. But then Milwaukee, they have the pedigree, championship pedigree. So, so yeah, I mean that's a really feisty matchup. Boston,
game 3 won't be till Saturday. So between Bucks and Celtics, and also the Warriors game won't be till game 3. So that'll till Saturday. So they'll give those teams a little bit of a break. So hopefully, like I said, hopefully for them, Marcus Smart is back because he sat out with that quad injury. So few days rest should have him ready.
He needs to get rid of that dye on his hair. What is that all about?
Hey man, he was all in on the green, man.
Yeah, he has like a green hairdo.
It looked good when he had it braided up. I mean,
looking like the Joker out here.
Now that he took, it looks a little different now that he took the braids out. When he had the braids and it was colored, it was pretty good. It was,
I think he needs to have maybe like a mohawk and then just kind of put it like
he had like that before. He had the mohawk. Like he had the blonde, and he had the blonde on top.
Yeah. Well, he's repping the Celtic green, right? So that's why definitely. It's not like he's just like it's his. I don't think it's his choice necessarily.
I mean, it is his choice. I'm pretty sure Daddy Age and Brad Stevens told him, "Hey, you should do this with your hair."
I mean, I dyed my hair blonde before, didn't it? So
I could see you dyeing your hair blonde. I could see that.
Yeah.
I can see you with the top of your head blonde and just like the rest of the side with that brown black. I can see you doing it now, to be honest with you.
That's why I definitely did do that. I think it was like 2 years ago. I think
you probably should do it again. You should probably do that again for the viewers. Probably do that again.
We'll see. So what do you think about the Boston Milwaukee series? Who do you got winning that?
I originally picked Boston in like 7 because it's gonna be a tough grind out series. It's gonna be a physical series. I thought missing Chris Middleton was gonna be big for Boston.
Shit, yeah, where has he been? I didn't even notice he wasn't playing today.
Sprained MCL, man. That's what he did.
That sounds like he'll be out for the series.
Yeah, because he sprained it, I want to say game 2 or 3 of the Chicago series. So, I mean, he was expected to miss 4 to 6 weeks, so.
Well, that's a huge blow for them, but no wonder why they lost by like 20 today. I was thinking in my head, I'm like, Giannis is out here doing everything by himself. Why isn't my webcam focusing? Yeah, I feel like he was just doing everything. He was grabbing rebounds. He was the only one scoring. Like, I don't know. Brook Lopez had a few, few shots, but like Grayson Allen, he didn't really do much tonight. Bobby Portis. It was Bobby Portis that out there doing. He wasn't grabbing rebounds. Yeah, he had like 12 points, but
yeah, Bobby Goggles, man, he was out there. He was a little.
By the way, I don't think that was a flagrant foul on what did they call it? They called a flagrant foul on Bobby Portis for kind of whiplashing or putting his hands over one player on the Celtics. It was what's his name? But yeah, I didn't think that was a flagrant foul.
Yeah, I don't remember the exact play myself. I mean, when I got home from work, it was already like. I
believe it was like it happened in the third quarter.
Okay.
So yeah, I got I think Boston should. No, I got Milwaukee because I think think Boston can advance to the finals. Well, first they got to make it to the East Finals, but then like you have these kind of inconsistencies with, especially Jaylen Brown. He's not that 20-point per game every night type of guy.
He'll get you. I think he'll get you.
He can get you 20, but he can't do it like every night.
I think he can. Now 30 every night may be a little much.
You think?
20, I think he could give you 20 every night.
Do you think Jason Tatum
that much?
Is Jason Tatum hindering Jaylen Brown's potential to like?
No.
You don't think so?
No, I mean
I feel like if Jaylen Brown.
I feel like they proved that in the second half of the season, going into these playoffs. I feel like they proved that they can play together.
I feel like if Jaylen Brown got traded to like Detroit or like the Magic, he would like be a 25 point per game.
Why the hell would you want him to go there?
No, I'm just saying. I don't want him to go there. Hypothetically speaking, if he went to,
hypothetically, he gonna have to be a 35-point game scorer for them to even win 2 games in a row.
Well, yeah, but I think he could. I think he would be a more prolific scorer if he were on a shittier team, I guess.
I mean, I get your point. But they working well together. I feel like they proved that, especially the way the team played out there coming out of All-Star break. Like the way this team's playing, like their defense is their best offense. Like, don't get me wrong, they have those 2 guys are great scorers. They're great ISO guys. They can ISO. They can run off screens, run off picks, cuts, and everything. But the way they started to play defense after the All-Star break really changed everything for them. So I think just and with those 2 guys becoming good. Well, Jaylen Brown's already a good 2-way player. Jason Tatum stepping up his defensive game is what really helped this team take off.
Yeah, Tatum, he's stepped up on. He's definitely stepped up on defense this year. I think Boston, they're still on an uptrend. Considering from this where they kind of left off from the All-Star break. But I still think Milwaukee, even without Chris Middleton, still probably take the series.
Okay, so you got Boston. So you got Milwaukee on one side of the East. You pick Grizzlies on the other side. Who you got? So who you got them matching up against in the conference finals?
I got the Grizzlies matching up against Phoenix. I think that's.
I agree with you on that.
That's a no-brainer. I think Phoenix is going all the way.
So you think the Mavs? You think it's a 6-game series, 5-game series against Dallas? I'm thinking 5.
Yeah, I'm thinking 6. I think Luka's gonna have a few nights where he had a 40 the other night, so he'll have he'll probably have a few more nights where he just goes off. Has to carry the team on his back, and but I think ultimately Phoenix takes the series. I think they face Memphis. That just sounded really weird to say Memphis. Memphis is going to the Western Conference Finals, but seems likely.
They're playing 3-6 Mafia in Memphis and stuff during they're celebrating. They playing 3-6 Mafia and money bag, yo.
Yeah, I think I don't know, Golden State. I don't know. I can't really. Honestly, I'm indecisive about that matchup between Memphis and Golden State. I think it could go either way, but I'm just leaning. I'm hedging towards. Hedge my bets toward Memphis.
Okay. We definitely gonna revisit it next week for sure. So I know. But all right. So you got Milwaukee still coming out of the series against Boston. I think it's unanimous. I think we pretty much could agree Miami go beat Philly. I think it's probably the easiest series to pick.
I mean, that's what it's looking like currently. But if Embiid comes back, and now Philly's gonna have the home court, so they just got to capitalize on these next two games, and I think it could become a series. But I think if Miami wins tomorrow, it's going to be tough for Philly to come back. And I think Miami is better than that bubble team that made it to the finals. I think so.
I think, for me, I think Miami up 2-0 when Embiid come back is too much for them to come back from.
Yeah.
With the team they have presently constructed and with the guys they have. And what's really been good for Miami is, we've been missing it all season, but there's been a Victor Oladipo sighting throughout this playoffs. I think we all kind of forgot how good Victor Oladipo was, man.
Yeah, he's been a really good scoring punch for them.
Yeah.
Is he even? So I think he's starting, right?
I'm not too sure if he's starting.
I'm not sure if he's
definitely
starting,
playing.
He's been a good player.
He may be starting with Lowry still kind of being out. So he may be. Oh no, he's coming out. He's coming out the bench. He's coming out the bench still. But he's been a good addition. Even though he only scored 5 points in game one series, he had a good
defensive
coming out against Atlanta. Yeah, good
game.
defensive. And he scored a good bit against Atlanta, closing them out.
Now, I was kind of surprised Atlanta, got eliminated so early. So early. I mean, they were a team that made it to the Eastern Conference Finals last year. They even beat, Philadelphia last year, and that was impressive. But
yeah.
I mean, that's another series that I think Atlanta, they just, I think they made changes this offseason, and they just, for whatever reason, they got worse, or maybe they just got settled. I don't know. Maybe they just were on a really.
I think when it comes to Atlanta, they need another shot creator. Like Trae Young is really your only shot creator. You need another guy who could create his own shot out there.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. They were pretty good last year. I don't know. I guess they traded away some pieces that. I mean, they have relatively the same roster, but they had some Miami beat them, and I think they swept them.
No, they were. Or was
it in 5?
It was 4-1. It was 4-1.
Yeah,
it's like the call.
So yeah, I think Atlanta's another team that kind of surprised people. So who's the MVP of these playoffs, in your opinion? Like, who?
MVP of the playoffs?
I mean, it's kind of hard to tell right now, but, I guess, as things currently stand.
As current stand, I'm torn because I kind of want to go with CP3. I kind of want to go that way, especially with he had the perfect game against New Orleans to close it out. So, it's kind of a statement. That was kind of the biggest statement of the playoffs to me.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to. Man, I don't know, because all these players are. The superstars are stepping up. Playoffs, even if their team is losing. So I don't think
Well,
what
really, I could really as somebody who looked great all playoffs, I could really like we talked about Tatum. So now that I think about Tatum probably was looked great throughout most of the playoffs. But aside from how they played in Game 1, aside from how those guys played in Game 1 against the Bucks, then Tatum looks the best.
yeah, he didn't look good in Game 1. I think he had
he had 20.
He had like 20 points, but at least he came. At least he, was able to come back from that and put up a better performance tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess he would be the MVP so far, or like the best player of these playoffs so far.
Yeah, Brooklyn helped that out. Not playing no damn defense, but
negating the Game 1 against Milwaukee. Other than that, I think he's been the best in terms of helping your team win.
Speaking of Brooklyn, I can't go without touching on Kyrie and his sensitive ass tweets. I can't for me, because as somebody who works in media, I just don't like some of his tweets was just very out of line. Like one of them, I'm gonna just read. He said, "Just watching all the people who wake up every day and report about people's lives on TV and social media and profit off of them, then justify it by saying their job is by saying them." Basically saying media justifies their job by saying we get paid to say how we feel, which we do. Just like you get paid to play basketball, which you do half of the damn season because of your own choices. So
Kyrie's woke. I mean, he is.
I don't know what the hell he woke to. I mean, if he that woke, he need to get vaccinated and stop holding his damn team back. Like he just thought they ain't need a coach, they ain't need chemistry. They was go roll into the playoffs.
I don't know if he's woke, but he's definitely he thinks different.
I know I wouldn't be following Kyrie. He wouldn't be somebody I would admire and follow. I know that much.
So wait, what was he complaining about? It was something to do with the media being not truthful.
Basically,
what he's
basically just was attacking media about talking about how they played and how everybody was pretty much saying they don't play defense and they didn't play defense in Brooklyn, and how I guess maybe he was upset because some people were saying maybe him doing Ramadan around this time was having him a lack of energy because during Ramadan you don't eat or drink from sun up to sundown.
Yeah.
So, and honestly, nobody really attacked his religious view. They just were saying maybe that played a factor in his energy level. It's not like nobody was saying you shouldn't be Muslim or you shouldn't be doing this during this time. We just point out the facts.
Yeah.
If you don't have nothing in your body to produce energy and you're going out there trying to play a whole NBA game, that's what's gonna happen. It ain't like you go sit there. It ain't like you go just make it through the whole game without eating or drinking, running up and down the court, going up and playing high competition basketball, and you not gonna feel those effects.
So he's kind of saying that wasn't justified?
Pretty much.
I mean, if they're bashing him for doing, the Ramadan, I don't agree with that, but
I mean, that's the thing. Nobody was bashing him. They were just pointing out that the effects of Ramadan is possibly have effect on his energy level. Like you Muslim, you doing Ramadan, that's cool. We half of the people in the world we know
think
Muslim.
Brooklyn. I think Brooklyn, the whole team just didn't, produce enough for them to beat Boston. I don't think it was just Kyrie.
it wasn't. Well, I mean, like him not being
It
vaccinated
wasn't.
didn't help the team chemistry, and it didn't help the team chemistry at all because
So do they
he
trade
missed
Kyrie
most of the
for
season.
you trade Kyrie this offseason?
Well, I mean, Kyrie's gonna be a free agent,
It's gonna be a free agent.
so yeah, he's a free agent this year.
Huh. Kyrie to the Lakers?
The Lakers got too many problems. I don't think they need. I don't think
Shit,
they
man.
want to get Kyrie.
What is, they trade Westbrook this offseason? What are they gonna do? What are the Lakers up to this summer?
I don't know. Is Westbrook? I thought Westbrook was a free agent this year. He's not a free agent.
Hell no, we got him for one more year.
I don't know, man.
We got him for one more season. Unless you know, we find a trade partner. I don't know who would want to take him in, but
Well, I mean, he scrubbed all his social media Lakers stuff, so I mean, maybe something's cooking.
yeah, I heard. I don't know.
That's the new way. That's the new way of showing that she ain't trying to be with a team.
Would you swap Westbrook for Kyrie? Well, they're both going to be. Well, actually, no. You said Kyrie's going to be a free agent, right? So
I mean, but you gotta think Durant left OKC because he didn't really want to play with Westbrook. Think he gonna want to play with Westbrook now, like in Brooklyn?
nah.
He gonna be looking at Russ like same old Russ. This dude don't change. This dude.
Yeah, I've heard that they might trade him to. They might trade Westbrook to Charlotte for
I've heard
Rozier
about
and a
him.
few other pieces, but that's all I've heard so far.
I mean,
And I don't know. I don't know
I
if
can
Terry
see that.
Rozier is gonna make the Lakers, that much better.
Is he gonna make it better than Westbrook made it?
I mean, yeah, it'll be better. They'll have a
Little
better,
Like
know,
this much bit, like
chemistry, but I don't think
Yeah,
they're
like he
going.
can shoot more. He
Yeah.
can shoot better than Westbrook. So it's like little. It's like this much bit. He gonna be better.
Yeah, I think they just have to try to find a way to have LeBron maybe play at the point forward spot again. Maybe they don't need a point guard. I don't know.
Maybe. But I am going to address one more tweet from Kyrie Irving before I leave it alone, because I mean, Kyrie just, I mean, his ignorance sometimes is surprising. And yeah, I call Kyrie ignorant. I feel he ignorant. That's my opinion. Get at me, dog. If y'all don't feel that way, get at me. If Kyrie somehow watch this podcast and don't feel that way, get at me. I'm Googleable. You can find me.
I don't know. I think
So-
sometimes, yeah.
Because one of his quote, his other tweets was, and I'm gonna say it directly from what it says. A lot of these media corporations make their money by degrading Black, African, Indigenous community heroes. They thrive off of it, and then sell it back to us by having a hand-selected person or group of people spark controversy about them for the world to see. I'm gonna just say it like this: Kyrie ain't my hero. I mean, so from him to say community heroes, for him to put himself in a category of heroes, ain't nothing Kyrie did to make me think he might to be a hero to anybody. On the court, off the court. I mean, yeah, I know he probably does his different stuff off the court and commend that. But I mean, just from Kyrie's logic of thinking and everything, he ain't my damn hero.
They definitely, I mean, he just, sometimes some of the things he says, I kind of am like, oh, okay, that's an interesting perspective on things, but then sometimes he comes out with, like, the flat earth theory, and you're like, what? It's kind of, I mean, I don't disrespect it, but I don't agree with it,
Mm-hmm.
So.
And the crazy part is, I don't really even have a problem with what he tweeted, because I mean, like, I don't have a problem with a lot of what he tweeted. Yes, some media corporations do make a living off of that. Is it that way now still? Hopefully not. I haven't seen too much of it. Hopefully not.
So there is some, level of truth to it, but
yeah, there's some level of truth to it. But for me, where he threw me was saying community heroes. Hold on, dog. You don't get to me. You don't get to say you in that you as an individual do not get to say community heroes, because when COVID was killing a lot of black people who wasn't vaccinated or not, you still was trying to advocate not to go get the vaccine. So I don't consider you a community hero. You trying to tell me not to get something that's gonna help. I don't consider you like you lost your stripes on that one. At least with me.
Yeah, he's definitely a different type of individual. Pretty good on the court, but off the court has some strange tactics, I guess.
Yeah, I mean he got other tweets, but I'm just not gonna get into it because it was a whole Twitter rant for him. I'm not gonna get into all of them. Calling people puppets and all that kind of other stuff. I mean, I don't know. He has such a strong dislike on media. And just like I said, just me working in media, I can't take a position with you because you're not gonna attack the field I work in, and I'm gonna position with that. That's just, it's just me. That's just my view, and people can feel how anybody else could take. You side with Kyrie, that's cool. If you want to side with him, that's cool. I understand. It just ain't for me.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I understand. I think it's because it's more, personally, kind of. Personally attacking the media and kind of have relation with that.
Yeah, but like I said, my whole thing is I get it because maybe you feel like the media has been attacking you because you were one of the only players who didn't get vaccinated for your team, which would have benefited your team and help your team chemistry and all of that. And everybody was talking about that, and everybody was talking about how Ramadan might have affected your energy. So I get why you lashing out on people. I do get it. But I just don't feel like it was. But I just don't feel like it was necessary to call people puppets. Like nobody. I don't feel like most people. I don't feel like is getting controlled on what they're saying. Especially when you look. Especially if he's talking about the guys that's like a Stephen A. Smith or like a Kendrick Perkins or whatever. A lot of those dudes. Nobody's really controlling what they say. Now, if it's anybody else, if you're talking about local news, maybe some of that message is getting controlled. Maybe not.
I don't know what to say about that, but yeah, I guess it's some of it is. I don't think media is controlled, but.
Yeah.
I think that it's controlled it's controlled in the way that it makes people have different points of views on things, for sure, especially the news, but shoot, what else you got?
NFL draft. My Eagles got a lot better after the draft. I feel good about our draft. Got big Jordan Davis in the middle that's gonna stop the running game because the Eagles don't need to be the only team that Zeke looked like he deserved the $90 million for that the Cowboys gave him. So I'm glad they got somebody in the middle. Traded for AJ Brown. I don't feel like we close. I don't feel like we taking Dallas in the NFC East, but we definitely closing that gap. We definitely definitely have to be on point to beat us.
Yeah, so you guys made improvements this summer.
Yeah,
I think this
yeah, I think so. I think the Jets came out really good in the draft too. They got Gary Wilson, Sauce Gardner, and they were able to get one of the best pass rushers in the later half of the first round. So I think the Jets going forward are really doing some good things.
I didn't really watch the draft, but I'm hoping that the Chargers might have picked up some, you know, some pieces.
I think they drafted some meat and potato type dudes. I think they mostly shot for the offensive lineman, I believe. If I remember right, they was.
You think that the Jaguars pick is going to be any good? I think it was the first pick. I forget what his name was, but
yeah, Trayvon Walker.
Yeah, is he going to be? First pick for a reason, right?
Mm-hmm. I mean, when you draft, a lot of times when you drafting traits, you drafting potential. Trayvon Walker has that athleticism. He has the traits to become a great pass rusher. It's just a question of what he developed into that. His role he played in the Georgia defense may not have warranted him to go number one, but like you said, that athleticism and everything that he has potentially has a better upside than Aiden Hutchinson.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to make the Jaguars a whole lot better, but
they picking him one for a reason.
They just need I think a few more seasons of number one draft picks, then maybe they'll be a playoff team. Yeah, I didn't really watch the draft, so I can't really say much on it. But
when you told me the draft, the Chargers getting better, man. How much better y'all need to get, man? I mean, y'all, the whole division loaded. Y'all signed a lot of free agency to address that defense. I mean, most of the draft for the Chargers was O-line. I like the Isaiah Spiller pickup at running back. That was a good pick in the fourth round, the running back out of A&M. So I like that one. Y'all improved the O-line a little bit. I've seen a couple picks with O-line picks. So that's good. Y'all invested into protecting Justin Herbert.
Yeah, well, they picked up. I'm hoping that they picked up more offensive, type players in the draft.
Yeah, they did.
I think they, rectified their defense in free agency.
Mm-hmm.
So, like you said, they picked up a few running backs and.
They got a couple of O-linemen, so that's addressing the O-line needs. So,
but they're in a tough division, so it's going to be interesting to see how that division plays out.
Somebody in the AFC West, the fan base is gonna be hurt because somebody ain't gonna make the playoffs. Either one or two teams, either one or two of them ain't gonna make the playoffs.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be really a tough division for sure. So, what teams do you think improved the most So, you think the Eagles made the most improvements?
Eagles and Jets stand out the most. Just because, the Eagles were able to flip their 18th pick into A.J. Brown. Jordan Davis was a good draft pick. You got Nakobe Dean, one of the best inside linebackers in the draft. It was addressed that inside linebacker need for Philly. You was able to get him in the third round. So I think overall, them and the Jets with their excellent first round that they had, I think that was the best. I think that was kind of those two teams stood out the most. What was interesting was that Malik Willis ended up slipping all the way to the third round, getting picked by Tennessee.
Is he supposed to be like a first round
Yeah, he was great. That's the best quarterback in that draft class, which, I mean, obviously not a lot of people were really too high on these QBs, and Kenny Pickett was the only one that went in the first round. He went to Pittsburgh. He went to the Steelers in the first round, so.
That's pretty, yeah. Surprised there isn't more like a priority on the quarterback position, especially considering that's like one of the most important positions in football.
Well, that will be next year because you'll have Bryce Young, y'all CJ Stroud coming out headline. Those two guys headlining the class. So, and we seen those two guys are excellent quarterbacks. So, those two guys will be headlining the class. We'll see.
So they're just kind of like, screw it. We'll just take a break from the quarterback this year in the draft, and after seeing how Trevor Lawrence was last year, let's just on the gas.
He'll be all right though. Trevor gonna be all right. You just need a team around him. Trevor will be decent. Yeah, just like how I think Justin Fields will be decent. The Bears just need to get a team around him.
Yeah. I wonder, to me, it's just to see, like, the teams, like, that struggled last year, they're able to, they're gonna improve this year, like, the Eagles, I think that they struggled last year, so.
Yeah. I think the Eagles should improve. I'm interested to see what's gonna happen with Baltimore because they traded Hollywood Brown to Arizona, which Arizona kind of made that trade because they already knew D-Hop was gonna get suspended for 6 games. So that was kind of was the news that broke today to the media that D-Hop suspended 6 games for the PED use. So I mean. It's his second offense. So if he does get one more, he will miss an entire season. So that's the significance on that part.
Anything else you want to say, or getting pretty tired?
No, not too much. Any for those who interested as far as MLB action, MLB been tuning up, doing. I'm assuming not too many hockey fans because we don't really get to. Ain't really no ice around here, in my parts at least. I know definitely ain't no ice in California.
Yeah.
So I know.
It's sunny out here.
Yeah. At least y'all get sun. I got fucking 40 degrees, so y'all good. But yeah, man. But yeah, as far as any MLB is concerned, pretty early in the standings, pretty looking like it's gonna be pretty tight races throughout. Teams still trying to figure themselves out. I was kind of interested in seeing like uniform, like how baseball. I don't know why I wasn't surprised, but Cleveland was going to their new name for baseball, the Guardians. I was kind of looking forward to see like what their unis would be like and everything. Nothing too special, so I was a little disappointed in that part.
Cleveland Guardians.
Yeah,
oh, so they changed their name.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, they changed their name. So I mean. As far as baseball, pretty early in the season. Not too many headlines besides Shohei Ohtani getting injured. So I mean, but it's early in the season.
Oh, he's injured.
Plenty of time to bounce back. Yeah, plenty of time to bounce back.
Well, I know that he's a pretty crucial piece for the Angels.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, how many Angels start winning some games though? You can't have Shohei and Mike Trout, all these good individuals, and they can't win those goddamn games to get in the playoffs.
Another losing record for them.
Yeah.
So far.
I mean, right now they 15-10. So like I said, early 25 games into however long this season's gonna be. I wasn't too sure if they rectified to play the whole 162 again from the way the holdout was. And I was a little surprised by when they negotiated the CBA. I know the minor league pay was kind of a big deal. It was kind of one of the points that they were trying to get across, and they didn't kind of get that. They kind of didn't really get that rectified. So I was a little surprised on that. Mainly because like when I was in California covering high school sports and stuff, part of that was covering the Modesto Nuts out there, and they were a single A team, and just learning that these guys literally make $5,000 during the season. It's pretty much like a part-time job. So like you get drafted to play professional baseball, but when you're going up through minor leagues, it's just a part-time job. So like, see, I was a little surprised that they weren't able to get that rectified, because from the stories of what I hear with minor league players, these guys are pretty much damn near roommates, living 2 and 3 to an apartment and stuff. So.
How are the Dodgers doing?
Dodgers are doing pretty all right. They as expected. First, looking like they got one of the best records in the league. Them and the Yankees hold the best records in the league right now. And the other New York team, the Mets, holding their own.
Yeah.
Which will be interesting in New York to see. The Yankees and Mets are both winning. How the city's gonna feel.
Well, the Mets they had that one pitcher. His face.
Yeah, I think Scherzer
was on the Dodgers last year.
You talking about Scherzer?
Yeah.
No, not Scherzer.
Yeah.
Scherzer? Was he? He wasn't on the Dodgers last year, was he?
Yeah, he was.
He was? Damn. Fucking Dodgers had everybody.
I had everyone last season, but
it still came with a ring.
Oh, they won during COVID.
Yeah, they won during COVID. Oh, and speaking of baseball, matter of fact, Trevor Bowers, that was the biggest news, 2-year suspension for the domestic violence. That was also a big deal, man.
I heard about that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's crazy. I think that's a crazy incident, because some of the girls who coming out, he claimed they had consent sexual relations with him. Now, I mean, Trevor's situation to me is just it's a sticky situation, because like, yeah, you may have had consensual sex with a person, but it's consensual to a certain point. Like if you're in a situation where you're doing what you're doing and y'all getting rough and choking the girl and stuff, and she's just like, stop. I mean, you pretty much got to stop. Because word against word, that just kind of doesn't go well a lot of times, and just saying it just for males in the courtroom. A lot of times your word against word doesn't really go well for you.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and I know from what you're hearing, going to continue to fight, and he's going to fight that suspension. But I mean, the more females that keep coming out of the woodwork, the worse it kind of looks for him. So,
yeah, I'm surprised it was only a 2-year suspension. I thought he wouldn't be able to play it again. So,
I mean, 2 years, he gonna be losing $60 million in pay. That's damn near like not playing. That's not playing right there. You losing $60 million, you ain't playing.
I wonder if any team's gonna want to acquire him in the future. But yeah, lots of stuff that he has to figure out.
Yeah, it's a tough situation. That's a very tough situation for him.
So is he still under contract with the Dodgers, or he said he's?
I believe he was still in the contract. I honestly don't think he signed that contract not too long ago with the Dodgers, to be honest with you, if I'm not mistaken. Look at the look at the basis of it. But I don't think he. I think he was. If I'm not mistaken, I think he was pretty early into that deal. So I see. So he had I believe I see. So 31. Okay, no, I'm not trying to pay for an article. I'm trying to find a free article that where they trying to make you pay for them. Not paying for that. So the way his contract was set in 2000 last year was the first year of his deal of his 3 year. It was 3 year, $102 million deal.
Yeah.
So, if he's being suspended this year and next year, he's essentially losing that $64 million. And by the time he come back, he's gonna be an unrestricted free agent. So you're losing money, and then you'll be a free agent coming off of 2 years of not playing. And like you said, with this situation, and then coming off of 2 years of not playing,
it's like he's slotted for the minor leagues for now.
Yeah, he'll be slotted he'll be slotted to sign a minor league deal just to prove that he can stay out of trouble. And then, like you said, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough to really bring him in because with that, if he doesn't get this suspension overturned, if in court this doesn't play out in his favor, you'll have teams looking at him as a PR mess. So his career could essentially be over with.
He still probably made a lot of money though while he was in the league.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, he was pretty good in Cincinnati.
He's just like he's not in jail.
Yeah, that should be the good. Yeah, that's the big lucky part about you, Trevor. You're not in jail. You're not locked up.
Yeah. Especially if there's more. Especially if there's more women. With more people coming out and saying that
if it's more people and he say it was consensual, I'm gonna be questioning his choices in relationships and all of that, because you can't be doing that with all these damn women and expect nothing to happen.
You gotta stick with one woman, maybe two.
Right.
No, I'm just fucking. Oh shit. Hey, I'm fucking tired, man. I think I'm gonna call it a podcast here. Thanks for joining me, Leroy.
No problem, man.
And yeah, sorry guys, I was a little tired today, so I think we got to start earlier for sure. I think we start these podcasts too late, so definitely gotta have an earlier start time. Yeah, thanks for listening. I'm gonna put my Patreon link down below if you guys wanna, you guys could follow that. Yeah, follow the podcast. Anything you want to say, Leroy?
Just y'all stay safe out there. Stay blessed. Stay prayed up. And just don't be crazy out here, man. Don't be Trevor Bauer. Don't be going off like Kyrie.
Yeah, stay sane, stay safe.
Stay sane. Yeah, stay in your state of mind. Don't let nobody get y'all out y'all character out here, bro. It's a lot of people. If there's any lesson today from Kyrie and Trevor Bauer, don't let nobody get y'all out y'all character.
Yeah, 100. All right, Leroy. Hey, make sure you gotta stay on until I think uploads all the way. All right.